any experience you can relate to us where you actually came in contact with spirit?
I will tell you. I will surely tell you. There is one very important connection that happened. This happened about 8 years back.
Mm.
Um, I just happened to get up, go to the toilet at about 3:34 in the morning, and I came back onto my bed. My eyes were very open. I was totally aware that now I'm praying. I'm not even falling asleep. And suddenly I saw three figures, tall figures at the bottom of my bed. Of course, those were the days when I was fighting with the Lord and with the forces that I want a particular name. So I was really upset with them that I'm doing so much for y'all and y'all can't just tell me this one name which I can chant afterwards to sort out situations. And on the third night, I saw beautiful human beings. I could not see their faces completely. It was not, it was more shadowy,
Mm.
but they were tall and very good looking men type of energies
Wow.
in white robes
Mm.
at the bottom of my bed.
Mm.
And they are lifting their hand like this and telling me to rise.
Mm.
And the next thing I know is their hands are on my back and they are triggering me out of my room. When I come out of the room and into my hall, I'm in shock because my door is wide open and this is middle of the night. But before we reach the door, I know that they take a big bark of a tree. It's a long, thin bark and it's smelling a lot like sandalwood. So
Mm.
I'm getting all of this, the fragrance, I'm seeing the shape, everything. And they are turning it round me and they are saying, not a hair on your head will be touched. I get pushed towards the door. When I'm looking at the door, there's this huge white robe again there. And then I just know I've lost consciousness, but I'm just being rolled to some height. As I reach that height, I see a very strange picture of big eyes and then big face. And this being opens his arms where there is a huge robe that is flowing, and inside the robe are those guides I used to believe in. And all these guides start chanting the word Araha, 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 and make me also chant it.
Mm.
So they wanted me to say this word Araha. Then I went to a world meet of spiritualists. It was at the Russian Council, I remember. And there was a group of Irish people
Mm.
who showed what they do in the world.
Mm.
They were standing in a circle and they were all chanting Araha.
Oh my
As
God.
soon as I heard this, I began to cry out there,
Araha, like the
Araha.
name, like the word
It's a
also. It's got such a
very,
lovely
very
and
powerful word.
very
Very
good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, coming to the other side of it, you know, when you say you see a spirit, and if
correct.
I were to ask you your thinking or what has been told to you, what happens once the soul leaves the body?
See, different souls have different journeys. As a soul goes there, the relatives, the dear departeds, the souls on the other side whose job it is to help those who are dying and coming there, to receive them. If the soul is reaching a higher dimension, they even have parties, they even have celebrations
Okay.
that this soul is rising here. Now, there are times when some souls want to take a rebirth in a fast and a wrong way, and it's not right for them, then their guiding forces on the other side stop them, which happens to be an abortion here.
Well, I've heard, I don't know, sorry, that there are souls who have something incomplete here. There are attachments here. They have left something which they were to complete. They
Correct.
too, you know, kind of hang around.
That is a reality, which is why I insist that my students or anybody who comes here should not just take a pen and start on paper, or should not just go to a Ouija board, or should not just connect until and unless they get a protecting link from me or from our forces or from some other medium properly. They should not indulge because these souls are the ones who try to interfere with normal beings over here. And it's very easy for them because these minds are not trained.
But this brings me to, witchcraft and shamanism. Does this connect? This is how it works, you think?
Well, I would not call it witchcraft, but I would call it evil doings. I would call it an evil mind on the other side who is trying to connect with an evil mind on this side. And they are easily able to connect because the consciousness is meeting. If this soul is a good soul, they will walk away because they cannot do their deed with the soul.
Right.
So therefore, it's also very imperative that each person moves towards getting better in their lives instead of staying in their own mess, because then messy souls can connect with them and they don't even know it. This.
Yeah. So in that case, I think people like you are so important because you're helping so many people to evolve, towards more awareness rather than,
But it's easy to say awareness. It's not that easy to achieve it until you practice certain methods.
Correct.
Like separating your two brains with mantra, allowing the third brain, that is watching brain, to watch more. Yes.
So have you connected with anybody who has reincarnated?
Yes, there have been times when before their birth, the children have told me their names and I've told it to their parents.
Okay.
And this is the names they have actually thought of. I've told it to the grandparents who never told it to their parents, but the parents ended up giving that name.
Oh.
It is there. Rebirth is there.
Yeah.
Reincarnation is there. But somehow the person tends to choose a similar life.
Right.
So it's better to change here before you die so that you choose a better life when you take a birth.
Right. So what is the sign of somebody who is writing? What do they sense that is it something on the head that an inflow comes in, or
No, it's their chakras. As I see them, I see if their third eyes have opened. I see if their heart chakra is opened. I see if there are blockages. I see black spots in the body area when the blockages are there. I need to work upon to open with crystals and healing energy and water, and then start them on, or to open with lots of Gayatri mantras or lots of yathas or lots of any such prayers which come, dangling for this person only as for that energy.
when you feel that urge to write, what happens to you physically? I mean, is there any
Simple
vocal?
thing. But
Yeah.
in the past, when I was learning about it, my hands used to start getting hot. My hands used to start shaking a little. My shoulder used to start paining, and I would know I have to give this energy to someone. I have to heal. I have to heal. Otherwise, my own knees or my own heart. But it's happening, and I know of it that it's happening. Or I would take a pen, pencil anywhere, and just start to write. And they stopped us from writing on papers. I used to just find even newspaper and I had to start writing on it because I'm not in a place where I can get a paper and pen. So this kind of thing, they stopped me from doing. That is a wrong play, wrong way. And then, of course, stick by books and stick by one particular pen if you can. Those kind of things. At the same time, very important for my students is to learn to disconnect their brains into two brains, left and right brain, and then to understand that there's a center brain which is watching you. There's a divine brain which is watching you do whatever you're doing. Otherwise, how do you know that your hands are clapped? And how do you know that your hand is written? And how do you know that your eyes are open?
That's a physical
Until
brain.
there is someone in there watching you, that is the biggest consciousness which we forget about.
That's not
as
physical.
normal life.
That's not physical.
That's not physical. That is at a soul level, at a very inner level of understanding that there's a third brain, which is the divine mind. And whatever you will bring in now will be from the third brain. If it comes from the second brain or the first brain, it is either subconscious or it is conscious, but it is not superconscious.
And
Yes.
there are people who have lost their loved ones too, and they can't get. So, what would you say to, raise their to elevate their vibration, to make them feel better?
Nice question. I would like to give a little bit on this. And that is, first of all, to understand how opportuned we are to still be alive.
Mm.
People have lost their lives because of the COVID and the problems that were happening, and so many have had heart attacks because of their stress and such things. So many have actually physically been killed by others. It is a time like this, at such a time, we are still alive. Secondly, I would say you are still an Indian. You are born and brought up in India. That gives you a lot of energy and strength from Mother Earth and from all the prayers that are floating around in the energy. Positive sounds, intonations, and vibrations, which we are among, which does not exist in the entire world except in places like these or some places in the East. So a thank you that we are Indians, we are still here, and whatever India is going through or whatever wrong or right, we are still blessed to be here.
Wow.
So
I've got goosebumps.
that's a very big thank you. And secondly, God, our universe or the creator is giving you food, a home, and a good life. You cannot expect more in these times. So just simply be thankful and try to help out others who
Correct.
don't have this.
Oh,
This is what I wish to share with everybody. And if you can make one person happy each day, your karmic star is rising. It's very important.
I was going into a very formal way of saying thank you, but before that, there's one request. If you can do it, it'll be great.
We can do it. We can do it. The
Oh,
zodiac
great.
at least.
Great, great,
Yeah,
great.
God, baby.
So we
God,
can
baby.
start with Aries because that's the first one,
Ah.
right?